Welcome friends in Science Lecture 2, Lesson 15, Our Environment. Now in this chapter, in this particular lecture, we are going to today start with food chains and food webs. Now we have learned for an ecosystem. So we have learned that one single ecosystem is there, like you are able to see in this picture. These are grasshoppers, and the grass is been eaten by a herbivorous animal like grasshopper, and this is been eaten by frog, which is another larger animal. So second category comes of an animal which can eat grass also somewhat, and animals also. And these are being eaten by snakes, and snakes are being eaten by larger animals like vultures and all, or and these are being lastly getting dead, and these are being eaten by microorganisms, and this microorganism releases to earth all the components, and earth is being again eaten by this, taken by the grass, earther animals like earthen components, like water molecules and other gases. So this is a kind of a cycle which we understand as one simple ecosystem for that particular area. So the series of organisms feeding on one another, as I shown you here, and the series of organisms taking part at various biotic levels of forms a food chain. So this is the cycle of ecosystem forms a kind of a food chain. That means this is first food chain, that's the second part, third part, fourth. We speak as a niche. Niche. Niche is a level on which they survive. Each step or a level of the food chain forms a tropical level. Like the autotrophs or the producers are the first tropical level. They fix up the solar energy and make it available for the heterotrophs or the consumers. So these plants, this we call as in producers, are nothing but first ones, that is on first tropical level. So they are on the first level of the tropical level, and they are the first one as a consumer. So their rank, roll number is 1, we can say that. All of them are counted as first tropical level. Then the second one comes as an herbivorous, that are primary consumers. These are coming into the second level, that is they counted in the second tropical level. The third tropical level is an small carnivorous animals that will feed on them. So the smaller ones which are feeding on the smaller animals are counted in the third tropical level, that are dependent on the herbivorous animals. And the larger animals which are dependent on the very large animals are counted into the tertiary consumers, that they can eat a smaller animal also, and they can eat a larger animal also. So they can be herbivorous, or itself also can be an carnivorous. So they are counted into the tertiary, that is in fourth tropical level. So first tropical level producers, second tropical level that is in herbivorous animals, third tropical level which counted in the primary that is in first level consumers, smaller animals, and tertiary which are counted into the next level, which are the very larger animals dependent on food for the larger animals only, and maybe eaten by eating a smaller animals also. So the food actually we require as a fuel. Fuel is, that is an like petrol we fill up into the fuel for our bikes to run. In the same way we eat, so that we can do, we have an energy to do work. So autotrophs capture the energy present in the sunlight, that we have already learned, and convert it into the form of an chemical energy, and this chemical energy is basically stored in our body, right? So this chemical energy is stored in the body from the sunlight made by the plants, right? And forms and lastly heterotrophs and producers, from producers to heterotrophs, and lastly decomposers. From autotrophs to heterotrophs, autotrophs to decomposers. This is a cycle of thing, and lastly this energy is released. Now we were talking about the energy coming from the sunlight. So this furthermore makes us understand. This is an graph which they have shown in the form of an triangle. This is called as a pyramidal graph. So they have shown in the pyramidal graph that what is this basically means. Right, so these are the producers which is having the 100% energy from the sunlight, but they are capable of storing only 1% energy which is coming towards the earth, right? So these are the producers, these are the plants which can store only 1% of energy, which is the 100% energy coming from the sunlight. And this 100% energy, 1% energy we count as 100%. So these are all producers, these are all plants. Very large amount of plants grow, and total plants which are growing, out of that only 10% can be consumed by the primary consumers, that is in herbivorous animals. So the total plants that are growing on the earth, hardly I'm talking about hardly 10%, less than that, is only consumed by herbivorous animals. So 90% are not consumed. And this total energy which is going, that is 1% energy from the sunlight, turns to 0.1% energy, that is only 10% energy. So from primary, whatever the herbivorous animals are there on the earth, out of that only 10%, out of 10, only one is being eaten by the totally on the earth by the secondary consumers, that is the smaller animals, that they are getting 10% energy from them. So this is passing another 10% sunlight, and these are passing of sunlight energy from 100% to 1% by the producers, taken from 1% to only turning to 0.1% energy towards the primary consumers, and again only 10% energy is passed on to the secondary consumers, that is smaller animals, right? And this is turning to this energy as 0.01% from this 1%, 10% decreasing. And lastly, to the very larger animals like lions and tigers, this only 10%, out of 10, one is being eaten by these animals, and it converts into 0.001% energy, which is very less amount of energy. That's why dogs, tigers, lions and other carnivorous animals are very less in amount, right? Deers and all other animals are very larger in amount, maybe 100 times, maybe more than that, right? 1000 times more than that. So they have been very less eaten and almost saved around. So this is the passing of energy showing of sunlight, that is 100% to 1%, from 1% only 10%, 1% which is stored by the plants, only 10% passed to the primary. From primary to secondary only 10% is passed, and from secondary to tertiary only 10% is passed. So the 1% energy also decreases to 0.1, 0.001 and 0.00001% of energy, which is turning to very less. This is the whole thing said here in the form of points, right? So this is the 1% energy, sunlight energy falls on the earth, right? So these green plants is having this 1% energy, and they turns to producers by consuming this energy, and some of the energy is lost in heat when their energy is utilized, and only 10% is passed, hardly 10% is passed in the form of an food eaten as in plants, and 90% is not eaten. It is not that all the plants are grown or eaten away. So only 10% can be hardly eaten. Fine. From that 10%, only again the average 10% amount of the organic matter present passes to the next step, as I told you. So this is the passing game, and only the 10% is passed. So it turns almost minimum to the level. So a higher category of animals are very hard to survive. Like lion, tigers that you see is having a very hard to survive. We humans are very crooked, that we have learned how to manage these things. So we have started growing our own food in a very large amount. So there we have turned to a better survival, and that is why we are having a larger amount of food to eat. Fine. That's why we are harming the environment also. By doing this, we are destroying the cycle and creating problems to the surrounding. Naturally, we cannot survive in so much of amount. There are generally a great number of individuals at a lower tropical level, right? So naturally, they are very less in number, and the lower tropical levels, that is primary consumers, are very large in number. It's a common thing and understood thing by the cycle itself only. Instead of a straight line food chain, the relationship can be shown in the series of branches line. So these multiple ecosystems that we are food chains. So this is one food chain, this is one food chain, this is another food chain. They are not actually separate from each other. That is, these plants are not, it's like that, not eaten by insects and all. fine. And it's not that they are not eaten by the other animals. These are aquatic. They are so much interlinked with each other, right? These cranes are also eating these frogs and all, so they are so interlinked with each other. So these individual food chains, when interlinked with each other, is called as a food web. So this you use the word as a food web. Interrelationship is known as a food web. Going furthermore, you may see in the diagram that this is a kind of an cyclic form which is so much complex in nature. So this is a food web, that they are so much interlinked with each other. Fine. This is eaten by this also, this is eaten by this also, and this animal can be eaten by multiple other animals which are actually the part of a simple food chain into the another form, but they are targeting the other animals of other food chains also to eat. Like these eagles and vultures also eat fishes also, right? They target into the seas and oceans, and they are flying to the surrounding. They eat the smaller fishes, and we have seen in many films also. They are filmed out in Discovery channels and on, trying to show how they are capturing the food. So this is an interesting formation how this run upon. So this is food web. Now you are able to see this sunlight produces herbivorous animals, carnivorous and top carnivorous animals. Fine. Now the important point is that every time whatever we are eating is enter into this food chain, right? So as these chemicals, certain chemicals nowadays what we are spraying on the earth, and these are non-biodegradable by the nature. So what happens, these gets accumulated, like they are getting accumulated on the plants, and these plants absorb these chemicals. We are spraying chemicals on the crop fields, so they are being accumulated by these plants, and these plants are largely eaten by herbivorous animals also and us also. So what is happening around that we are accumulating this as a tropical level. These animals are also eaten by us in a very large amount. So what is happening, like if I say that we are spraying certain chemicals on the grass and they are eaten by insects, suppose for an example, and very large amount of insects, many hundreds and thousands and lakhs of them eat these plants which are sprayed chemicals once, and these millions of insects are eaten by thousands of suppose fowls, that is suppose chicken if I am talking about, hens and all, fine. And these chickens are, lot of them are eating these particular insects in a very large amount, and thousands of the insects are eaten by one suppose chicken, and these all chemicals are going to pass from thousands of plants to these insects, and from insects it is going to get concentrated on the chicken, and we are eating multiple chickens, so it is getting in a larger amount on the towards us. So what is happening around basically is getting concentrated. So these humans occupy on the top level of the food chain. So the maximum concentration of these chemicals get accumulated inside our body. So what we are throwing off, this cycle is giving back to us only. We are saying that we are throwing these chemicals and killing the other components of the earth, but these chemicals get accumulated into the smaller animals, and these smaller animals are eaten by the larger animals, and eating these larger animals comes back to us only. And this is a very high concentration of chemicals which are getting to our body. This phenomena is known as biological magnification. So the accumulation of maximum concentration of these chemicals and getting accumulated in our bodies, step by step coming from each tropical level to the next tropical level, this phenomena is known as biological magnification. So we'll keep up till here. Thank you for this particular video.